Hello, today we're going to be discussing the last major battle of the Revolutionary War. This will end our discussion. We will also discuss the Treaty of Paris, 1783, which is the treaty that gives the terms after the Revolutionary War. So, after several more years of fighting, General George Washington managed, with the French's help, to force Charles Cornwallis, he's the general of the British Army, and the British Army into a corner at Yorktown, Virginia. The French fleet blocked their escape by sea, and the Patriots blocked them by land. And after a few days of combat, Cornwallis and his 8,000 British soldiers were forced to surrender in October 1781. The Battle of Yorktown turned out to be the last major battle of the war. Occasional fighting continued after the surrender, and some of the patriots, including Washington, feared that the war would continue on. But the word got out to England that there was the defeat at Yorktown, and the prime minister was forced to resign, and the new government decided to give up the fight. So it's important to know that this is the last major battle of the Revolution. General Cornwallis faced against the American forces, and the French naval forces surrendered because they were surrounded by land and by sea. So they surrendered that fight. So it wasn't just the forefathers and the general making big decisions and sacrifices. It was a lot of the soldiers doing heroic things as well. Men like John Paul Jones, who became America's first naval hero, made some really big decisions. He commanded one of the first American naval ships, and it was much smaller compared to the British ones. So he's in a fight, in one particular fight, he's surrounded and he's forced to surrender. But he replies out, "I have not yet begun to fight." So he's able to continue to fight on, and he manages to win that battle. It's the first victory for an American ship. Another significant person is James Armistead. He poses as a runaway slave and convinces General Cornwallis that he would spy for him. He was really an American spy giving the Americans information. He was working with also one of the French gentlemen that had assisted us, and that was Marquis de Lafayette. He was giving him information which would also help George Washington. There was another significant person. His name was Haim Solomon. He was a Polish Jewish merchant and a banker. He was very wealthy, and he helped funded the war, and it continued to give loans to our government at a interest-free rate, which is a really good benefit. So, like I said before, war costs money, it costs lives, and so him helping us will help pay off some of those expenses. So, as you can see on the map right here, you can see how the British, marked by red, are surrounded up by land, and then you'll see the French surround them coming in from the water. They'll surround them as well. You can see right here, you've got them surrounded as well. And then you can see the American militia all lined up. Here's the French lines as well, surrounding Cornwallis and his 8,000 redcoats. So they're forced to surrender. Later in class, we'll watch a video that depicts this battle. So after the war, a treaty is signed. The Treaty of Paris formally ended the American Revolutionary War, and under its terms, I'll go back to that. The Treaty of Paris officially ends the war, and under its terms, it sets many geographic borders, including U.S. and Canada. Florida was returned to Spain. British merchants must be paid for the lost items, and loyalists must be paid for their lost property. Also, British recognized the independence of the colonies. The British promised to remove all of their troops from the country. In addition, they gave up all the land between the Mississippi River and the Atlantic, from the Great Lakes to the border with Florida. So this would be the new United States. This move gave the new nation twice the area of the former colonies. So you can see on the map right here, no longer is the proclamation line of 1763 there. That is gone because now Britain has given them that new territory. This concludes our discussion for the Revolutionary War with Yorktown and Treaty of Paris.